Welcome everybody to the Go Racing Melbourne Cup special.
Welcome to you too, Melissa. It's lovely to have you presenting. I know Cup Day is your favourite day of the year. It's like the day before Christmas, isn't it? Melbourne Cup Eve.
Probably more so for you. But let's start with our Go Racing runners on Tuesday. We've got Running Man at Wingatui, race 6.
Going well. His last start was good, just got exposed a bit early. Unfortunately, fourth on the ballot, and they just don't scratch in the South Island, so he's very unlikely to get a run. If he did, I would be telling you to have some money each way, but there'll be no scratchings. And
then quite a line up at Ellerslie, where you're going to be. We've got race 2, Shibuya Cossatan.
In a nice maiden race, Strawberry 10, ignore her last start run. She didn't cop the track. Start before we ran fourth was the fastest last 600 of the day. It's more accurate. She'll get back in the running, but we'll be running home well. We'll be running better than her odds suggest.
Great. And GC's in race 3.
Very good horse, the maiden trio of 1400, 5th in the Group 2 start and last start. First up, he was third. The horse that runs second, Karma Lass, is since stakes placed, and the horse runs fourth since it's a Group 3 winner. So he's going really well. He's a big each way chance on the quick backer.
Cool. Oh, we can. Race 5.
Fresh up, back in 65 grade, wide draw. He'll be well over the odds, but he's capable of beating this field. If things go his way, he'll run very well. Well, a horse well over the odds, worth $1 each way.
Well, we've got 2 in race 6, Campari and Quick Preview.
So Campari, lovely barrier draw of 2. She does need a little bit of give, and I'm just concerned about that. If there's given the track, she's a very good winning chance. Otherwise, if there's not, we'll wait for a listed race on Saturday for her at Te Rapa. Quick Preview. He's fresh up, likes Ellerslie. Craig Grill's in the saddle. 1200 metres is too short, but he'll run well.
Then we've got 3 in race 8, Starry Beale, Hasbro and Make Time.
Right, let's do them one at a time.
Starry Beale.
He's a stayer. Fresh up run was good. The mile is still too short. He'll get back with Darren Dennis in the saddle and be running home well. Will improve on his first up run, but probably wait until he gets to 2,000 metres before he's winning. Hasbro surprises fresh up. He's a stayer as well, but over 1,200 metres he just about got up and won. So going the start to a mile, Lethanus on board, who has run on him before. He's got to be a very good each way chance, like Ellerslie.
And Make Time.
Barrier 3, Ashwin Goodwin, Dasami on board, claiming 2 kilos. Last start he got taken on in front, a 3-way battle, they cut each other's throats. He'll probably settle 4th, 5th or 6th. Very good genuine winning chance, and he handles any track conditions.
Good. And race 10, we've got She's Apples and Waimuku Falls. So we'll start with She's Apples.
Yeah, so She's Apples is, she needs a little bit of give in the track. She's got a nice draw, but weather-wise we'll just wait and see. Otherwise she may run at Te Rapa on Saturday. If she gets a bit of rain, she's a genuine each way chance. Waimuku Falls is a very, very good horse. She's on her way to 1,000 guineas. This is her final lead up. We had a scratch last time because she had a virus. She seems over that. She'll get back in the running from barrier 11, but she will be roaring home and is more than capable of taking this out. Very classy filly.
Cool, so that wraps up the Go Racing horses. So let's get to the main event.
The
Melbourne Cup. We'll just run through.
Yeah, I should preface this by saying, people, I think it's been about 7 or 8 years since I've picked the winner. So
I think it's been maybe more.
So take this with a pinch of salt.
Yeah. As his wife, definitely take it with a pinch of salt.
As long as you don't tell the wife how much you're spending on the cup.
So let's just run through the runners in the Melbourne Cup and your ruminations about them. So number 1, Anthony Van Dyke.
Look, obviously a high class horse, very good run in the Caulfield Cup. 58.5 kilos though, I think is a massive amount of weight to carry, and I have a small question mark over him at 2 miles. Hugh Bowman on board means that he's got one of the best jockeys in the world on board, but I just think with that weight over 2 miles, I think he can run the first top 10, but I haven't got him in my first 4.
Number 2 is Avilius.
Avilius,
Or Avilius.
Avilius, I just don't know if he's going as well as he has. I think he's got too much weight against a lot of other horses, and I think there's a query at the 2 miles, so I couldn't have him.
Number 3, Vow and Declare.
Last year's Melbourne Cup winner, and he's got barrier 4, and the 2 miles will suit. But he got everything to play for him last year, and he's just not in the same form, and he's gone up in weight, so I can't have him.
Okay, number 4, Master of Reality.
So Master of Reality, he looked the winner last year in the Cup. He settled handy, he kicked clear at the top of the straight, had it all over 1, and Vow and Declare kicked back and beat him. However, last year's Melbourne Cup was a funny race in that it was run very, very slowly. In the first few rounds, first few of the running the whole way were the ones that fought out the finish, and he had a big advantage being on speed. So I don't know if it's going to be the same run Melbourne Cup. He's gone up slightly in weight. He's in really good form, but I haven't got him in my top 4 because I think it'll be a truer run Melbourne Cup, and he won't quite get the soft sectionals he got last time.
Right. Number 5, Sir Dragon Net.
High class horse, winner of the Cox Plate, and his international form's very good. Not just at 2,000 metres, but you're watching his replays over 2,500 metres. He's running through the line. So, and he's dropping in weight from the Cox Plate, 55.5 kilos for a horse of this class. Probably isn't too much, and I think if he runs the 2 miles, which is a question, and if Glenn Boss can get him a nice run from barrier 14, he's got to be a genuine winning chance.
Number 6, always my favourite, Twilight Payment.
He's in fantastic form. He ran in the Cup last year, and he's probably in better form this year. He's an 8-year-old, but he's actually still a 7-year-old by Northern Hemisphere time. The difference, though, is last year's Cup, he led, and they walked, and he still couldn't run out the 2 miles. He was run down and finished 10th. So for that reason, I can't have him. I don't think he'll quite get the 2 miles in this field this year.
All right. Number 7, Very Elegant.
And she's going to be one of the favourites. She won the Caulfield Cup. She's an incredibly high-class mare. She's one of the best mares we've had for the last, apart from Wanks, over the last few years. But 55.5 kilos is a massive weight for a mare to carry. She does go hard in her races, and I do have a suspicion over 2 miles with her if she goes hard, and particularly from barrier 15. So while she's going to have a lot of fans, I haven't got her running out the 2 miles, so I don't have her in my top picks.
Number 8 is Mr. Gia, barrier 2.
Yeah, 8-year-old gelding. He's just not going good enough. Not going good enough. Particularly 55 kilos. I have to leave him out.
Number 9 and barrier 9, Stratum Albion.
He's an import, so he'll have trained by Willie Mullins, who's a very, very good trainer, so he'll have a lot of fans, but he's a horse that's been hurdling as well, and he can run 4,500 metres, so I think he's probably going to have to go forward. He's going to have to try and set a strong pace, but I don't know if he's going to have the turn of foot or class against some of these other horses, so he's one I would take a risk on and say he's going to be too dour.
And Michael Walker is on number 10, Dashing.
Willoughby.
Dashing Willoughby. You're quite right.
Yes.
But barrier 19.
Yeah, and he led and faded in the Caulfield Cup. And Caulfield Cup stats, no horse that's run the Caulfield Cup has run the first 3 in the Melbourne Cup, I think, in the last 10 years. So it's not a reliable lead-in anymore. So Anthony Van Dyke, Very Elegant, that also comes into my playing. So with Dashing Willoughby having faded off the speed, you couldn't have him, particularly from barrier 19. He'll probably lead and be one of the horses that sets up a good speed with Stratum Albion, I think.
Thoughts on Finch, barrier 6.
Man, this horse is going great. He is going super. His Caulfield Cup run was enormous. It was the run of the race. He sat 3 wide without cover. He looked beaten on the home turn, and he came back. And last year's Melbourne Cup, there were only 2 horses to make ground from the back, and he was one of them. And he was charging at the line. And I think he's going better this year. James McDonald on board, barrier 6. He doesn't win very often, and he always finds sort of one a little bit better than him. So that's my concern about him winning, but I think he's a real chance, top 4, top 5 chance.
And in barrier 1's Prince of Arran.
Loves Melbourne, loves the Melbourne Cup. Runs terrifically in it. He was 3rd in 2018 and he ran 2nd last year, promoted from 3rd. Barrier 1, he's going to be able to settle wherever he wants. He seems in really good form. His dress rehearsal was very good. You've got to have him in your picks. He's an 8-year-old now, so I don't have him winning, but I think he's definite top 4 material.
Now, I know this is your favourite. It's Surprise Baby.
Surprise Baby, yes, it is. Look, it's been set for this race for a year. It should have won last year. It got back, it was near the tail, it was no speed in the race, it suited the front runners. He roared home into 5th, beaten I think a length. He should have won. It was the run of the race. He's only had 2 runs in the last year, both leading into this. He ran 2nd first up at Weight for Age, sitting 3 wide on the speed without cover, or sitting 3 wide without cover. 2nd up he ran 9th, and people are questioning that, but you watch the replay, he couldn't get out to the last 100 and he was building momentum. He's got Craig Williams on board, last year's cup winning jockey. He's got barrier 7. Everything points to him being very, very hard to beat.
King of Leo Grants.
Yeah, an import horse. He's got barrier 18, which doesn't help. He's got Damien Lane on board, which does. But I just don't think he's quite got the class of the others. He ran 3rd in the Geelong Cup, which I think running 3rd in the Geelong Cup isn't going to be good enough lead-up form. So I've left him out. Right.
Russian Camelot. Another Damien on board.
Damien Oliver. Yeah, look, barrier 16, this is a very, very good horse. Very good horse. You know, he won a derby as a 2-year-old, basically, Northern Hemisphere breed, 3-year-old. He's run 3rd in the Cox Plate. He's a very good horse. I think he'll probably run the distance, but I think it's a year too soon for him. I think there's 3 or 4 others in there, a little bit older, a little bit more mature. I think 53.5 for a Northern Hemisphere breed 3-year-old is a lot of weight. I think he'll run really well, but I think next year's his year.
Okay, Steel Prince. Good Lord. Barrier 21.
Yeah, look, he ran 9th in the Cup last year and he ran well. He's got a terrible barrier draw, but he'll run the 2 miles. He won the Geelong Cup coming in. It was a tough run. So I can't have him, but I think he'll run in the first half of the field, but I couldn't have him in the top 4.
Better off of the barrier draws is Chosen One at 5.
And best of luck to Raina, Bonington, and all the team.
With the
only New Zealand trained runner in the Cup this year. I hope he wins for you. Really do. Barrier 5, his run in the Caulfield Cup was enormous. He ran 3rd. He's a stallion and he is in and out a little bit. He ran last year in the Cup and he bet 3 home. He did run 2nd in the Sydney Cup, but the Melbourne Cup is a different proposition. And I just don't know I don't think 2 miles is his best distance. And I think he's beat at 2,400, and I think the 2 miles will just see him out. So I haven't got him in my picks, but I do hope he wins for you boys.
Okay. Ash Run.
Really like this horse. Really like it. Andres Waller, who's won the Melbourne Cup 4th Protectionist, has brought him down. He's had a couple of runs here in Australia. He won the Lexus on Saturday. He had to be good to win it. He carried 61 kilos and he stormed home, got up on the post. He drops 8 kilos.
Yeah, so he's only got 53.
To 53 for Saturday's run. I think he'll run out the 2 miles. I think $34. He is way over the odds. I think he is a good chance. But he's got barrier 24, and I just think for that reason, I think he might struggle around the first 5, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him win. But I haven't got him in my top 5. He's got a really good profile.
God, you won't even feel the jockey on his back.
No, I know, dropping 8 kilos. It's massive. And he finishes his races off strongly.
Warning is barrier 8.
He won the VRC Derby last year. Hasn't been in the same form since. VRC Derby runners don't have great records in the Melbourne Cup. Efficient was the last one to do the double, and he was a superstar. I don't know if Warning is quite in that class. I couldn't have him on his current form.
Okay, Etta James is at barrier 22.
So she would have to break a number of records to win. She's an 8-year-old mare. She's got a very wide barrier draw. She's 100 to 1. So for those reasons, you couldn't have her. But I'll tell you what, she'll run the 2 miles out. and she will be running on when others aren't, and she'll finish in the top 10 when half the field don't stay, but I couldn't have her in my top 4 or 5.
Tiger Moth.
So this horse, Tiger Moth, is the pre-post favourite, and look, I've watched his replays, and he could be a freak. He is a very, very good horse. He's only had 4 starts, but he attacks the line, he stays, he's got a beautiful long stride, great action. I mean, and he has got the profile of Melbourne Cup winners of the past. He gets in at the right weight, he's unexposed. He could be very, very good, and he could well win the Cup. However, he's got barrier 23, so they've got to make a decision. Do we go back, get cover, or do we go forward? If they start in the middle, they'll be caught wide. I think if they're going to try and win the race, they've probably got to go forward and roll the dice early. So I think he can win the race, but the barrier draw and his inexperience has just pushed me for him outside of the top 4, but only just.
Ocean X.
New Zealand bred mare, Ocean Park. Good luck to Waikato Stud and everybody connected to the horse. Danix, bred by Tony Ryder, our good friends as well. Wish them all the best of luck. She ran 3rd in the Moonee Valley Gold Cup as a warm-up. She's got barrier 17. Unfortunately, I can't see her fighting it out.
Miami Bound.
You won the Oaks last year by Reliable Man. She is an improving mare. She won the Moonee Valley Gold Cup leading into this. But I just don't think the horses she's been running against are quite up to the level she is here. And so I can't have her in my picks. Have her in my picks.
Last horse for the 2020 Melbourne Cup, Persan.
So Persan, I like this horse. I really like this horse. He's got barrier 20.
Don't like the barrier.
Don't like the barrier. Michael D, 51 kilos.
Like the weight.
He won the Bart Cummings leading in, and you can't knock his form. He just keeps winning. He's tough. He keeps finding the line. For me, he profiles really, really well as a horse that's completely under the radar, but I think he's a good chance of staying the distance. I think if he gets cover, I think he'll be one of those horses that presents and runs home. I think he's well over the odds at $34. I haven't got him in my top 4, but he is only just outside it, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him run a bottler.
Right, put the house on it.
No. So I've got my top 4, my best.
Oh yeah, go on.
So my top 4. The winner, Surprise Baby. Just, I think, the pattern of last year's race and what he did, and I've set him for this race. I loved his 2 runs leading in. Right jockey, right weight, right draw. He's my winner. Sir Dragonet is my second horse. His Europe form, you watch him running through the line. His Cox Plate run was excellent. Finch is my 3rd horse. He's my 3rd pick. He's in great form. He'll stay. Prince of Aaron always runs well. He's my 4th pick. And my best roughie is Ashrun.
Hey, there you go.
Best of luck with whatever you pick. I hope you get the first 4. And we'll see you all later in the week for another TubeTalk.
Thanks,
Bye.
Albie.
No peer to the outside, just a dash to Jour Mio looking for a run. Kia Mare sprinted clear. At the 300, it's a length and a half to Noble Comment and Mr. Jazz the outside, then Triumphal March Nostradamus. Kia Mare grabbed by Noble Comment and Mr. Jazz. Mr. Jazz, Noble Comment, Kia Mare clear. Veloso making some sort of a run and Kiwi late. It's going to be close here. Kiwi's going to beat them all with a mighty run. Kiwi swamps them on the line.